You know, this is a random thought that I've been thinking of. You know how a couple months ago, XXXTENTACION was like all over TikTok because people was, I guess, now saying that he was really corny? My question is, are we really gonna sit here and act like X was the corny nigga in this situation? Have we not met his fans?
Alright, let's say worst thing comes to worst, I fucking die a tragic death or some shit and I'm not able to see out my dreams. I at least want to know that the kids perceived my message and were able to make something of themselves and able to take my message and use it and turn it into something positive and to at least have a good life. I at least, if I'm gonna die or ever be a sacrifice, I want to make sure that my life made at least 5 million kids happy.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. It is your boy Smokey, back at it again with another video. And today we're gonna be talking about how freaking weird X fans are, from the time he was alive to the time that he's gone, and even up to now of still how weird these niggas are. So this is also no X hate, because this is coming straight from a D1 X fan. Like, I knew everything. I took pride in knowing everything about this dude. I have a iPhone 5SE, something like that, somewhere in my room, where I literally have a download of every X song known to man, all the lost files, lost songs, whatever. Even some with it was just instrumentals, but it had his name on it or something like that. Anything that I felt like it has something to do with X, I had it all downloaded on the phone. I was strangely obsessed. If you can look, I'm gonna try to point at it right there where my finger's pointing. That is I think that's a poster. I was finna mess up and say Members Only Volume 3. No, that's a poster that came with my 17 vinyl. I am a fan for real. But back to the topic. Yes, the fans are absolutely weird, and I feel like people need to talk about that more. I really don't understand why them couple months ago we was all going off the rip of like, oh my god, XXX is so corny, which doesn't make sense in my opinion, because the stuff that he was doing, it's like we forget that this nigga was a teenager, a very emotional teenager at that. The same stuff that he was doing, he had us doing it. And a lot of us, if I feel like some of the stuff that he was doing, even if he wasn't around, some of these kids out here would have been doing that. Like, I don't know why all of a sudden now it's corny. I feel like we just get bored and we make memes out of nothing, and it just blows up. Like that whole "what's a father" thing.
Do you have any relationship with your father?
What's that? What's a father?
Yeah, I never really got the joke. Like, what are we making fun of? How is he corny because he said "what's a father"? But maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just such a fan that I'm blind to the corniness. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I listen to this nigga as much as I used to. Like, back then, that dude was on my playlist 24/7. Now it's very rare if I listen to X, but I know how his music made me feel, and I knew the connection I had with his music. But it's just insane to see like how crazy people switched up after this man passed. After this man passed, it really went either way. Either you was even more diehard fan of his music, or for some reason a switch hit in your brain and then you was like, oh, I don't like this nigga no more. His music is buns. But now you have the fans, because the fans have always been super weird. Like, let's just be honest. We all know the diehard X fans that will sit there and they used to ask you the typical questions. Oh, what's your favorite X album? Oh, if you're such an X fan, then what was the first song he ever released on SoundCloud? And it better not be Vice City. Dude, it's literally X we're talking about. Do you really believe that he did Geneva like that? I swear, being an X fan, you have like ranks. And when you talk to other X fans, it's like both of y'all had something to prove to each other for no reason. X literally had these niggas out here dying, like half their hair blonde and stuff like that. It was like absolutely insane. You couldn't say nothing bad about X when he was alive. And this is coming from me, because I was also one of those kids. Like, man, like him and that whole Geneva situation that was going on, bro. I was not trying to hear none of that. I was part of the problem too, guys. This is no hate to you guys. I was also a victim. I was a victim too. It literally made no sense for how bad it was to be an X fan. And then the music kept dropping even after he passed. And I'm not gonna lie, Bad Vibes Forever killed it. It just killed it. Like, it was horrible. It was straight horrible. Wasn't his best album. I'll still listen to it every now and then. He got a couple tracks I go back to, but the album as a whole, garbage. But I swear, once that boy X passed, like, a lot of his fans all came together and just became nothing but dickheads. We really got a nigga on TikTok right now, face tat, which I don't know if that's real or not, but he got the face tats, have his hair dyed, and he's like pretending to be X. That is so weird. That is so weird. Like, why are we? I've never been a fan. I've honestly never been a fan of impersonators. Like that whole like the Michael Jackson impersonators. The more and more I see them, the worse it gets, bro. Like, there should be no reason. There's a reason why these white girls are scared of Michael Jackson, and it's not because of Michael Jackson. It's his freaking impersonators. Like, literally, let's not forget when X had like recently just passed, and this one kid went viral all because he sounded like X.
I just seen it the other day. I'm like, this nigga really sound like X. And then I was like, hell no, I gotta show everybody, like, this shit is wild.
Yo, I appreciate you for hitting me up. Also, shout out to my manager for actually getting to you. That nigga actually got to you. Yeah, that's why I'm here now.
What's his ad again?
I'll type it first. Hold on.
He went IG live with Trippie Redd just to do a laugh or whatnot, and you know, like, talk. And yeah, he kind of sounded like X, but it was like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of weird. That's like a weird coping mechanism that just went on. Then we had these rappers who was blowing up, and they kind of had the sound that X had. And please, let's not all forget how we acted when we first heard Broly 500 for the first time, just to find out that wasn't even X. That was freaking Broly 500. We went flat stupid, and then found out, like, oh, that's not X at all. Sadly, that nigga didn't keep his career up at all, at least what I think. I don't know. Me personally, I find it very disturbing that people be on TikTok and I guess they find his son Gekum, and they be making freaking TikTok videos with him, and Gekum's a freaking kid, so of course he says whatever comes to his mind. And then just so happen he brings up his dad. Oh, his dad is gone, but he loves his dad and all this stuff. And it's very upsetting to see. And I feel like that's just trying to a quick cash grab. I don't really appreciate stuff like that, but you know, it might be coming from a genuine spot on their side, but outside looking in, that's kind of weird. And what makes it even weirder, there's this guy on YouTube that I was watching a couple of his videos, and when I say this dude has to be unemployed, he must not have a job or anything. He must not have a job, girlfriend, or like anything, because this nigga, the videos that I was watching, this nigga did just a straight up deep dive on this man's whole personal life. I feel like he knew more about X than X knew about himself. And then he likes to do this stuff where he's like, I like to look at the mistakes that X made and put it to my life itself, and realize that anybody can change, and anybody can, like, I understand that you're trying to, you know, take the good from the bad and all that stuff, but dude, you're weird. Like, you're weird. Like, this nigga got videos where he did a deep dive, like the girlfriends and exes that I don't even know about, or I feel like his own people probably didn't know about, or the actual, like, the biggest fan didn't even know about, but somehow you done found out some information from Discord, Reddit, whatever, and this nigga went on a deep deep search, dive, whatever, and just made a whole video about it. And I'm like, yo, you have nothing better to do. X has been gone for years. It's time to just, like, I feel like it's time to just give it a rest. I feel like it's time to give the music a rest. It's time to just give his name as a whole, you know, just give it a rest. And I know I'm like contradicting myself because here I am making a video about it, but I'm making a video about it too. It's like to just talk about how weird these niggas are, bro. These niggas are weirdos for real. Like, I watched the videos. Like, this nigga went on a whole rant about Jocelyn Flores. At first I was watching them because these are stories that I've already knew about. He made a video about Jocelyn Flores. All right, cool. He had a thing where he made a video where I think he was talking about all the lost songs or whatever. I was very interested because I wanted to see if there was a song that I haven't heard of yet. Boom, I watched that. But then as it keep going, you bringing up the old charges that he had where I guess he stabbed somebody. He stabbed like his ex-manager or some crap, or a producer he was with. He made a video talking about how I think he ended up having sex. X had sex with this chick, and I guess the chick was a witch, and it was like a demonic ritual or some type of crap, like ritual for him to get famous. And it was so weird. I'm like, nigga, where do we get this information from for real? That's that man's business, bro. I'm like, yo, the thing is, and I'm sorry that I'm like yapping my butt off and stuff like this, but like stuff like this really just bothers me. And I have like no friends, so of course I'm gonna talk to somebody about it. So it's gonna be you. The thing is, we all knew while X was alive, we all knew that that man was weird. We all knew that he didn't have it all the way up. We knew he didn't have it all the way there. He wasn't there all the way. Something was mentally wrong with that man. People like to say that he predicted his own passing. Me personally, I just feel like that was just karma. I feel like anything, if you give out bad, all you can ever do is expect bad to come back to you. X did a lot of stuff. He was wild. He was just a wild, traumatized, tormented kid. And that's why I never really understood why a lot of people always called him corny, because it's just like, what do you expect from someone who went through all the stuff that he went through? Everybody was so quick to call X corny, but nobody wanted to talk about how weird his fans are, how every fan was obsessed with this dude, how every fan wanted to know every little detail about him too, to the point that I feel like they will pick X over their own family. Now here we are. You a grown behind man. We got grown out. I am 23. I don't care. I really don't care what he had going on anymore. That's that. We all knew he was weird. Why are we got these grown behind men, grown behind people now who are just so obsessed with this dude? That's something I just don't understand, to the point that we're gonna just go and do this crazy deep dive on everything. Well, I have nothing else to say now besides these X fans, other than me, need to go outside. I'm pretty sure there's some beautiful grass for you to touch. But other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up right here. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you leave a like and comment down below. It will really help this video out. If you would like to see more content from me or something more on these type of topics, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on that I'm gonna leave that in there. And turn on that post notification bell so you never miss when I drop another video. RIP X fans, get a life, nigga. Get a job. Go have some kids. Pay your taxes. I hit my hat. I'm out.